To replace the new BMS with the communication port, we have removed the screws for the top panel and the front panel. First step is remove the power supply to the PCB, the small red wire which we just removed, and then remove the sales communication cable, which is for detecting the cell voltage and temperature, and then remove the breaker. It's holding by two screws. Just remove it and remove the wire from battery positive. To carry out this job, you will need one star screwdriver and insulation tape, a little, the new BMS or the new front panel. We supplied along with it with battery positive and negative cables, and also the signal cables for sales. But for easier and simple replacement, you can just use the previous battery cable. It is easy to replace the front panel, but we suggest you to always keep in mind safety first. You can get some electrician to help you get this done, or you can do it by yourself. When you remove the battery negative cable, it's not required to insulation the cable, but you can also put some insulation tape. It will not take too much time. This new BMS is loaded with many inverters protocol, so it is able to communicate with many inverters such as SOAC, Growatt, MPP solar, or Voltronic power, Orient power, LUX power. All those inverters you can get it communicated. And the most easy way is to communicate with the CAN port. If you are using, for example, SOAC or Growatt inverter, this BMS is by default loaded with the protocol, which we call pylon CAN. So you don't need to make any change. It's just plug and play to communicate with Growatt and SOAC. Just connect through the CAN port to the inverter, and from inverter set the parameters accordingly as per the manual. And if you want to communicate with MPP solar, you can connect to RS485 port of the BMS. It is also by default loaded with the protocol which is compatible with MPP solar. The protocol name is Pylon 485. So once you want to communicate with MPP solar, you just connect through RS485A to inverter, and the inverter side just set a lithium battery to the accordingly pylon PYL. To replace with a new BMS or new front panel, the first step is connect the positive wires. After connect the positive wires, you will connect the battery negative wires, and then you will plug in the cell voltage and temperature sensor wires, and finally you will connect the power supply cable, the small red wires, to the PCB. After all this done, then the job is done. It's quite simple, just do it step by step. If you have purchased this new front panel from us, we will send all the accessories along with the new front panel, such as the negative and the positive cable, and also this cell detecting cable, which you will not require where you replace with the new the old batteries. But if you want to do a DIY with our front panel, you will have all those accessories. If you are using for replace the old ones, you just keep those cell detecting cable and negative positive cable aside. Just use the previous one is okay. There's some important note for plug back the cell voltage plug detecting cable. You have to plug back as per sequence. This labeling 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to plug one by one from number 1 to number 2, then 3, then 4. And finally you connect the power cable. Once all the connections are done, then you can verify the battery pack condition from the front panel LCD. This front panel is coming with our latest design with a power key. To check the function, just press the power key to switch on the BMS, and then you can check the pack voltage from the analog information page. If it's more than 50 volts or not, and you can also check the capacity, the cell voltage. If you found it's or like before, then it's working properly, and you will have all the communication option.